Chat with Rene, and today we're going to speak about all kinds of things, but one of the main topics is parallel lives, traveling to parallel lives. So as soon as we get some people on here today, we're going to go ahead and start talking about that. It is Monday, the 4th of June. Can you believe it's already the 4th of June? Hey, Eugene, good to see ya. And Eugene, today is the 4th of June already. Did you miss any days? And it is pouring outside. How's it doing down in Lancaster? Don't tell me you have the sun. If you do, mail it back. But it is pouring, which is good because I spent the whole weekend planting seedlings, putting in my garden, and actually putting in someone else's garden. So I spent the whole weekend gardening, putting in, oh gosh, what did I plant? Corn on the cob and tomatoes, a couple different kinds of tomatoes, and string beans, and you name it, eggplant and peas and beans. And so anyways, Eugene, he's giving me, looks like a weather foreman here. He goes, mixed cloudy, 69 degrees. Good. And you can tell I just been outside. Here I am I look like a bushwhacker with my beard flaring all over the place. There we go. Stay, boy, stay. Okay, and have to get some of that hairspray. I don't use the hairspray. I made a mistake the other day. I thought I had hairspray and tasted funny. It was bug spray. I'm kidding. No, don't ever try it though. Kids, do not try this at home. Let's see. Here's my. That's not coffee. Oh, Coke. Thank you, Reluca.
You said you want to drink.
That's fine.
Yeah. Are you hard wired?
That's fine. It's not caffeine free, is it?
Yes, it is.
All right. So
Are you hard wired?
69 degrees for Eugene. It's actually like 50 here, so it's pretty cold. Yeah. And let's let a few more people get in here. And while we're letting people get in here, Eugene, have you ever done hypnosis for metaphysics before? Past life, future life, this life? I guess that wouldn't be metaphysical.
It's sunny above the clouds.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear Luca's comment over there. She goes, it's sunny above the clouds. Don't you just hate an optimist? But anyways, have you ever done anything like that? And anyone else who's coming on here and hiding, if you've ever done any kind of spiritual travel with hypnosis or any other venue, let us know. And that's what we want to speak about, spiritual travel. So I want to wait for a couple more people to come on. So let's see, what else did we do this weekend? Like I said, we did a lot of plants. Saturday morning, we went yard sailing. Anybody ever go yard sailing? I think that's almost unique to the United States. My wife, being from Romania, never heard about yard sailing until we came here. She thinks it's a lot of fun. She says, over there, when you have junk, you throw it away. I guess they keep the junk forever, so no one wants to buy it when they're done with it. But over here, we do a lot of yard sailing, having fun. I like getting things like, fishing equipment, and you find a lot of neat deals. Let's see. Eugene, hypnosis, a little handshake induction, practicing now. I'm in your course now. Okay, you're in the course now. All right. So, you can actually record. I think we have in the course, or in the manual, we have a past life regression session. And if you recorded it, you can actually sit back, listen to the recording, and bring yourself to a past life. It's kind of a fun thing to do. Let's see. Saturday morning is here. Oh, yes. You have a lot of sales Saturday mornings. Yep. That's we do here too. So I guess next weekend is going to be about 4 people that we know are going to be having them. So this Saturday we're going to be hitting a bunch of them. Reluca just came on. Hello, Reluca. And see, I speak to Reluca more. It's kind of funny. We're in the same office. I speak to her more on the computer than I do normally because her office is like 1, 2, 3 rooms away. So it's easier to get on the computer than to yell. Let's see. Fly fishing is great. All right, Eugene. We have to go sometime. You set it up. Imagine in Lancaster, you probably have a lot of places to go fishing because you got so much country down there. So it looks like it's just the 3 of us. We have a private room with Reluca, Eugene, and myself. So it's kind of a long triangle. She's there, I'm here, and you're way, way over there. But anyways, okay, let's talk a little bit about spiritual travel. Let's see. With hypnosis, you can do a spiritual travel. Let's see, what kind of spiritual travel can you do? There's past life regression, which most people are familiar with. Okay, past life regression is experiencing a past life that you may have had. You can use past life regression to experience multiple past lives. You can scan lives to just kind of scan to find similarities. You can use them to find people you know or feel you know. You ever have that deja vu feeling like you've been there before or done something before? You ever have that deja vu feeling like you've been there before? Oh, I just had one. Wow. Anyways, I thought I said that before. So you can use past life regression to go back and find out why you know somebody, maybe why you like something, why you don't like something. It's funny. I heard a story a while back. Actually, it was a hypnotist who was saying that he moved into this new neighborhood, and one of his neighbors he immediately had a dislike for. He hated the guy. He didn't even know him. He just seen him, and he all of a sudden, I don't like that guy. And later on in a past life regression, he had seen this person in a past life who had done something really bad to one of the family members. I'm not going to get into that. But anyways, so he hated the guy from that life, and it carried over. It was the same person. So, and it's neat because you can, with past life regression, a lot of people like to see, who did I know in this life in a past life? Your wife may have still been your wife, may have been your best friend, may have been, your child, who knows? So they say that we seem to go from life to life to life with the same people, but sometimes in different contexts, they might have been somebody different, which helps you to, a lot of times you can understand why you feel about somebody that way. So past life regression doesn't mean it was a bad event. Oh, no. Past life, some of my best lives were in the past. Yeah, I always tell people I'm having the time of my past life, or time of my life. No, you can have some wonderful experiences. It's neat. I think last week I spoke about when you're trying to start out in business. Yeah, you were here, Eugene, when I was talking about, I think, Wednesday when we got, when my system actually froze and I get bumped off, it crashed. But anyways, we're talking about going to adult education, and adult ed is a great place to go to teach, to kind of get great at, a lot of advertising. Well, I used to do a lot of past life regression at adult ed. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. And the neat thing about that is I'll do a past life regression for, let's say I have 30 people in class. And of course, that's quite a few. Let's say 20, because it's easier to get through. You do a past life regression, a generic one, and everyone experiences their own little journey. And then afterwards, what we like to do is go around the room and ask each person to tell what they experienced. And you get to hear all these really cool stories. And but to answer your question, very rarely are they negative. I think it would have to do with the hypnotist. If you're focusing on the positive part, that's what you're going to bring out. It's kind of like if you went on a vacation and I say, okay, Eugene, you went on a vacation. What was the best part of it? What did you like the most? You see what I mean? So it's going to be a good story. But if I say, did you have any bad luck? What didn't you like? What was the worst part of it? Then people listening to it are going to start saying, oh, this guy's vacations are terrible. So I think the hypnotist has a lot to do with what he pulls out of it. So that's a little bit about past life, okay? Now, what other kind of spiritual travel? We're going to get to the parallel, but so there's past life and there's future life. Ooh, okay. In the spirit world, there is no time, or in the subconscious mind, because I believe the subconscious mind, spirit world, universal consciousness, whatever, is all pretty much the same thing. Once you cross over and get out of your mind, out of the beta stage, out of the individual, then you're in the the subconscious, the spiritual world, the hypnotic state. But there's no time. Past, present, past and future only exist here. Over there, the past, present, future, it's all the same. So if that be the case, not only can you travel to a past life, you could travel to a future life. Aha, that's getting interesting. And what would somebody want to do that for? Well, a lot of people are into karma and they want to make sure they have really good karma. You can go to the future to see how you've advanced. And if you haven't advanced, maybe you could work on your karma now so you can have a better situation then. Or if it's a lot worse than that, you can go to the past and start correcting it then so you can have a better life now and in the future. So some people are into that. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Just for enjoyment. So there's a lot of reasons you might do that. Now, besides future life progression, there's future progression, not future life, in this life. Now we're opening up another whole can of worms, okay? Oh, I like doing this and looking at myself in the camera. It's like, whoa, sleepy. Okay, I don't want to do that to myself. Anyways, present life progression would be going ahead in this life. And I've actually done that in sessions in my office with people where they wanted to, let's say they were working on a project and they wanted to have an idea of if it's going to work out or what they should do. So they do present life progression to go ahead 4 or 5 years to see how things worked out. To see how things worked out if they retired or if they didn't retire, to find out what kind of things they did, how their relationship is, how their kids turned out. Okay, so it's almost like, I guess it would be almost like a psychic reading. Okay, you go see a psychic to say what's going to happen in the future. Well, you can be your own psychic because your subconscious mind knows more about you than anyone else. I mean, a psychic might be connected to you psychically at a certain level, but you're connected to yourself psychically at a lot higher level. So if you're able to access that level, you can find out a lot more about you, a lot more accurate than a psychic could. Let's see. Talking about sleep, I had to order your book at Lulu because Kindle's making me go to sleep instead of reading. Okay. Ordering my book at lulu.com, that's great. That'll help you sleep because you made me happy. Okay. So that alone should help you. So what do we got? Past life, future life, present life, ahead, future. And we're still saving the parallel, okay, for later, hoping more people come in. I know we got like 4 and 5 people watching right now, and only 2 I see. So whoever else is watching, go ahead and say hello. Go ahead and chat to us. Leave your name and say hi so we know who you are, where you're from. That'd be great. So let's see, what else? What other kind of travel is there? Life between life. Oh, that's getting to be a really big one that hypnotists are doing today. If you decide to get into something like that in the future, life between life does require you to go a lot deeper than past life or future life. So life between life would be probably, instead of just a theta state, you'd probably want to take them, theta, delta, right around there. And if you don't know what that means, in my hypnosis manual that you just ordered, Eugene, okay, and you can get it free online. The link is below the video, will be below the video. It'll explain a lot about it there. So life between lives, it's kind of, to me, it's a relaxing place. It's like going, I guess you could say, home. If some people believe in, Valhalla, heaven, spirit world, whatever, it's that life, the place, the pause, the whatever, between lives. So it's kind of a neat, very extremely relaxing thing that I hear. Clients will always say they're super, super relaxed being there. Hi, Bo. Oh, thank you, Bo. The feed is excellent today. Okay. Actually, I'm using the beta program with the YouTube. One thing I did different, just for those of you that want to try this, is I'm doing it on Chrome. Now, last week, like I said, our operating system crashed. And just in case it happens again today, we are going to be working on it tonight. Matter of fact, we're going to be updating it and working on it, but didn't get a chance to do it because it takes like a whole evening. And usually I'm busy working on it in the evening. So if we crash today, I'll see you guys Wednesday. And, but yeah, I'm glad it's working better. So we spoke about life between lives. We're talking about life between lives right now. So it's a relaxing place, a place of reflecting, a place of wisdom. It's a place where, actually, you're connected to the universal consciousness, but it's a place where you seem to be able to access it a lot more because it's open. I mean, if you think of it, if everything is now, if there's no past, there's no future, and it's called universal consciousness, okay? It's not out there, it's you included. So this is the universal consciousness. We always think that we have to go someplace. Close your eyes and access it because it's here. It's kind of like, think of it like the universal consciousness, like radio waves. Okay, right now there's radio waves, there's television waves, there's ham radio, all these different waves flying all over the place, but you don't see them. They're going around you, they're through you, they're right here. There's probably, if I had a radio and I turned on to 97.5 right now, mysteriously you'd be hearing the speaker or the music from 97.5. Change it to 80.2, you get that. So they're all there all the time. Why am I not picking up? I'm not picking them up because I'm not tuned into it. And you can do that with hypnosis. Simply close your eyes, relax, and let your mind go and access that consciousness. Let's see, I'm going to see if I can move this, scroll this thing up a little bit so I can see more. It's getting all the way down to the bottom. Either that, maybe should I bring myself up? Let's see. Chrome for YouTube Live. Got it. There you go. Yeah, Chrome works good. Every time I seem to use, we usually use Firefox, we seem to have a lot more problems. But most of the YouTube live video, whether it be the beta program or just using any kind of YouTube video program, Chrome seems to work a lot better. I believe they own Chrome, or they work hand in hand with, I don't know that last stuff. So anyways, yeah, go ahead and use Chrome. Let's see. So we spoke about universal consciousness. Now, what else is there? There's past life. There's future life. There's future progressive in this life. There's life between lives. And there's another one I'm missing, isn't there? Well, anyways, parallel lives. Now, the whole idea of parallel lives is people, you go online, you're going to see a lot of people speaking about it. It's something that hasn't been spoken out for a long time, but I noticed in the last maybe 5-10 years, it's been coming up a lot. The idea that in quantum physics, they say every thought or every thing that you could be doing, you probably are in a parallel life. So, I wonder what it would be like if I made the choice of staying in sales instead of getting into hypnosis. Well, there's probably a parallel life out there where I'm in sales. There's probably one out there where I'm a professional artist. There's probably one out there where I'm a professional handsome model. Oh, that wouldn't be too different than this one here, I know. Raluca just bellowed laughing on the other side. Raluca, they heard that. That's not nice.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I was born rich instead of handsome. Yes. Anyways, even Eugene's laughing. Come on, guys, you're going to give me a complex. But there's probably a life out there where I don't like fishing. That can't
That's
be. Say it's not so. Okay. And so anyways, there's all these different things. And the idea is that through hypnosis, you can travel to these past parallel lives, these other dimensions or whatever you want to call it, to learn about yourself, to see what it would be like. There's a guy, I wish I could remember his name. He's, I believe, from out west in Arizona. Do you remember that guy's name, Raluca? The one that was really big into parallel lives. I see his face. He's an older guy, probably in his 80s or so. But he's been doing it for quite a while. And what he does, he goes to parallel lives. This is where I learned. I first learned about it. And you don't remember? Anyways, and he would learn from himself how to do something. And if you see his house, he did a video of his house showing these beautiful paintings that he's painted that he learned from himself as a painter in a parallel life. I mean, his paintings, he never painted before this. But these paintings, he has them on exhibit in different, art studios. And so he's done really good with that. And he's learned a lot of other things. He goes places and learns from himself. I guess in another life, he was a pilot. In another life, he, so it's kind of cool to see, maybe you like something. Maybe you want to see if you could do good with it. You go to that parallel life where you do good with that. Because you can say, hey, I want to go to a life that I do this. Just like with past life regression, I want to go to a life where I was an Indian. I want to go to a life where I was a Roman, or where I was a Greek or if I was, and you can go to the area you want. It's because your subconscious mind knows what you want. Okay, before you even say it, you might not even word it right, but your subconscious mind knows everything, right? Because it's you, it's everyone, every thought that ever existed is there. So, and hi, John. And so you can probably go Robert Tilton. No, that's not the name. He might be doing it, but that's not the name of the guy I'm thinking of. He's silver-haired like me. Okay. What is his name? As soon as I get offline, I'll do a search and I'll find it. But yeah, he does tours of his house and has people come over, showing him all the different things that he's created and done. He's learned languages. He's learned a lot of things from going to parallel lives. So I think that would be a lot of fun. And matter of fact, now that I have an audience, I wonder how it would be. Maybe sometime, if I have enough interest, I'll do a parallel life group session live online. I've done that with past life quite a bit, where with something like maybe like Hangout, YouTube Hangout or a similar program like that, where you get all those little frames in the bottom of the screen, so I can see each person as they do that. But that might be a good idea to do a group parallel life, so I could take people to different places, and you keep it generic enough so you can experience things from yourself, come back, and then tell everybody about it. That'd be a kind of a cool thing to do. I've never done that with a group, but I've thought of doing it. So Eugene, okay, so we got one that's interested. It takes one to start. Okay. So yeah, we'll talk about that, and if we decide to do something like that, we'll let you know. Matter of fact, Raluca and I just got set up on a program called Blue Jeans, bluejeans.com, which is actually a Facebook program, but it's a live program like this, where you can have, I believe, up to 9 people on the screen at once, all chatting with each other. Actually, you can have a lot more, but when one person pops in, the other one pops out. Whoever's talking comes on the screen. So, and it's actually very clear. The video is very clear with them. So, might be able to do something like that. So we got a few people on here. Let's see. We got John, we got Eugene, we got Bo. Has anyone else? Eugene already told me about, he's training with us right now. But has anyone else experienced past life regression, future life, any kind of spiritual travel? Tell us about it. Even parallel. Have you tried the parallel life? And let's see. Raluca just said the cat is next to me since I'm talking about metaphysical things. See, I don't know. We have a huge coon cat. Well, he's kitten coon cat, but he's going to be huge. But yeah, that's cool. In spiritual travel, you actually can speak to, the spirits of people who have passed on and animals. You can actually communicate with animals because all this universal consciousness is connected of everything living. So now we're getting really deep. James from Bulgaria. Hey, James, good to see you. And James, you're from Bulgaria, so you travel because you've been to America. I think you said you're from the United States. And so since you travel from here to Bulgaria, have you traveled to past lives or parallel lives or future lives before? That's what we're talking about. Let's see. I find parallel lives interesting. Need to do more research on that one. There you go. Okay, so we can research it all together and actually try it. And it's interesting how a lot of people, once you get doing this kind of thing a lot, and I read about this a lot as well, is a lot of people can kind of pop in and out of different things. For instance, I was walking on a treadmill once, and I had a brief past life regression experience while on a treadmill. It actually took me back to, I was a British, can't talk here, a British soldier, almost a shoulder, a British soldier walking on some dirt road through, I don't know, it was almost like a desert type thing. It was really dry and dirt. And we were walking fast going down and it was the same kind of pace and cadence as I was walking on the treadmill. And basically having these kind of emotions, or it's like a trigger. You're doing one thing and it triggers something from the past. And that's how the mind works. Like if I told you right now, hey, can you walk across this 2x4, going from this side of the ravine to the other side? A lot of people, rather than saying yes or no, they might say, no, I can't do that. And in their mind, they're thinking, oh, because I fell off something like that, riding my bike over, a board like that when I was 5 years old. See, we immediately associate with things from this to something traumatic or some other event. And that's how the subconscious works. A lot of associations. When I ask you about something, the way you make your decision, 90% of your decisions go to the past and associate with something that may have happened. Well, that can go even further. A lot of times you're speaking to about somebody and they get that deja vu feeling, from, oh, I experienced that then. Or they'll say, you're going someplace, let's say you're driving, traveling through Europe and you see the Colosseum and you go, why is that so familiar? Maybe I was in the Colosseum, during Rome. No, it's not always that. It might have been maybe you saw it during a National Geographic documentary too, in my earlier years, we did an awful lot of group past life regressions and stuff. And, again, is it real? Is it not? Everyone has their own understanding, their own beliefs, but some of them seemed so real to me, but some of them seemed like they were, documentaries or some kind of Jacques Cousteau type thing, that are they really, recalling something that did happen? Or are they recalling maybe they saw a documentary when they were 5 and they were so enthralled in it that this came back, And on the other hand, does it really matter? I mean, if I'm helping you with past life regression and you're going to a past life and it helps you, it gives you the answers that you want or that you've been needing, whether it was truly a past life or whether it was memories from a documentary or whether it was memories from anything else, if it helped you, it helped you. So when people say, oh, did I see that? Was it real? I go, does it really matter? It was real to them, and that's what matters. Let's see. Come on, let's get some comments here. Any questions? Let's talk about parallel, past, future. And because I'm running out of stuff, I'm just kind of flopping my lips here. So if you have any questions you'd like to ask about having to do with this, go ahead and chat. And if I don't know the answers, maybe somebody else here does, and maybe Raluca does. And there is an answer out there. I heard once, everything that will ever happen, the intelligence or the knowledge is there. For instance, the person that created the automobile, okay, why didn't they always have an automobile if that knowledge was always available? Well, that knowledge was available, but it took a certain person to take this part and that part and put it in this one and the tires and the motor and put it all together. But once it was all together, the knowledge to do that was always there. It's just that they took it and put it together in a different way. Aha. Let's see. I know there's a delay, but hey, come on, guys. You have questions. It's kind of like a peanut butter sandwich, okay? We all know how a peanut butter sandwich should be bread, peanut butter, and bread. Now, somebody creates something with an outside peanut butter. It's not new. They just put the bread together wrong. But little wisdom there. Okay, well, if we don't have any questions on this, we're probably going to be, oops, here we go. So if there is a negative effect on past life regression, what would it be? How would it be fixed? Okay. So if there was a negative effect on past, give me an example, Eugene, what you're talking about. If there was a negative effect of past life regression. If you have a negative thing in this life and you're going to it, or like a dad experience. So you had a bad experience with your dad and you're going back to a past life regression to look for it. Is that what kind of, not a dad experience. Isn't it funny when you invert a D and a B, you go from a dad experience to a bad experience? One letter can make a big difference, can't it? Let's see. Here's an example, okay? I had one gentleman, this was years ago, a young man who always felt he can never get ahead in life, okay? He just never, he always had bad breaks. Things just weren't working for him and all this. So I started doing past life. Actually, I did a series of past life regressions with this young man. And let's see, in the first past life, he was, some kind of it was a native tribe, like an Indian tribe, not American Indian, but another. He was a dark-skinned native tribe. It could have been an ancient America sometime, maybe Mayan, but not a big tribe. It was a small group. And he was a sentry in this group. And he was like on guard duty. And, we went through talking about, he was telling me about the huts and, what the village looked like and what his duties were. So that's why I knew he was a sentry. And one night they got overrun by a larger group of white-skinned people. And they got destroyed. So he felt like, I can never get ahead. I'm a minority and I can't get ahead. And we always get wiped out. And in another life, it was like around Roman times. And he was, again, a similar situation. He was a sentry, but not the Romans, probably one of the groups of Romans wiped out. And again, he couldn't make it and he got wiped out. And it was always, like I said, some kind of, again, he was dark-skinned again in this, and it was kind of interesting because in this life, the young man was, he was a very prejudiced person. He had, I don't know if he was Aryan Nation, but he had SWAT stickers on him, tattoos and this and that. So he was very much against minorities. He was still in a security, military. He was still in a security type field, but he still felt like a loser, like he could never get out, like society was always against him. So it's almost like he went from life to life being the minority and got so tired of that in this life he tried the other side, but still, you see what I mean? But now he could see from time to time, from life to life, maybe what was going on. So he had this baggage. Now, understanding it is one thing, but what can you do with it? So one of the things that I like to do is at the end of each life, we stop, we basically go through the death experience. You go through different stages of life. Then we go through the death experience. And then I have you pass through the death. You don't feel it, but you just get to know what you died from and who was there with you and things they were saying about you. It's kind of a neat experience. But then we go to a place of rest, life between lives, that little, reflection place. And I have them reflect. What was good from this life? What did you learn? If there was a moral to the story, what would it be? What would you like to take with you from that life? And to make it a little more visual, I have them imagine they have a backpack with them. So they take the backpack off and they open it up, and any baggage from this life that you'd like to let go of, just leave it in that life. That life's over. You can just leave it there. And any good things from that life that you'd like to take here, maybe forgiveness, maybe love, maybe acceptance, you can take back with you. And it's neat to be able to do it that way because when you leave something, you create a void, kind of like when you quit smoking. Okay, now you always think of smoking, but if a void needs to be filled up, otherwise it might fill up with what it had. So that's why I tell people when you quit smoking, replace it with drinking water. There's no more void. So when you get rid of anger, replace it with love, replace it with happiness. Otherwise, there's still a space for anger to be filled. You see what I mean? That's a nice thing about the backpack. You're going to take your backpack with you, but you're going to drop off something bad and you're going to fill it up with something good and come back. And the relief you see in people's faces when they come out of that, it's like a big weight's been taken off, So there's a lot of different ways. It's hard to say specifically because every single person is different. There's no general, this will work this way. You have to stay on your toes, When I do past life regression, especially for an individual, I have my notepad right there and I take a lot of notes of what they're saying and kind of piece it together. And you got plenty of time to think while they're in past life because they're experiencing it and they're quiet. And you ask them a question, it seems like it takes forever for them to come back and speak to you because they're in a thaw, because they're trying to experience it before they speak. But I hope that helps. That gives you an idea. And that, we do that a lot with past life. But when you're doing parallel lives, that's not so much for I guess you can leave things there, but yourself in the parallel life probably won't like that. You left something that bad there. They might come back here and leave something bad to you, you know. But you're welcome. But with parallel lives, it's just neat to go and to observe from yourself, you know. Go to a life where you're really good at something and be like a student of the master. So learn from yourself. To make a better question, can past life regression be used for healing? Well, pretty much any one of them can be used for healing. Again, past life, depending on what whether you're talking about a physical healing of a wound or you're talking about emotional healing. Emotional healing is great for, because again, once you find the source, you can let go. Now, it has a lot to do with someone's belief too. A lot of people believe that their afflictions, some of their healings, come from a past life. If the client feels that, don't tell them they're wrong. I mean, like I've heard people say, well, the reason I smoke is because I smoked in a past life. And, you know, in my head, I'm saying, no, the reason you smoke is because you picked up a cigarette and started, you know. But if someone feels it came from a past life, use that and go back and you can eliminate it there. Why do people say that? I think it's kind of, I don't know if you'd say romantic to think that, or easy to say that something came from a past life, because you don't have to take responsibility for it. Okay. And to me, one of the biggest things in healing or making any kind of change is you need to take responsibility. This is why victims cannot be successful. Victims blame, explain, they won't take responsibility. That's why victims are not successful. So take responsibility. So we know that as entrepreneurs, with the client, you don't want to teach them that, because you make them feel bad, they're never going to heal. So if they feel it came from a past life, take them to a past life. Take them there and say, I want you to go back to a past life where you had this problem, where you think it came from. Go right back to the beginning where it came from. Where are you? What's going on? Tell me about it. And you get the travel log and they'll tell you everything they experienced. And then at the end of that, you can allow them to let go. Now, what I want you to take back with you is all the good things instead of that. So you can do that. I mean, again, healing, what is healing based on? Healing is based on belief. You can heal anything in your body. I mean, I'm talking about from, nervousness all the way to cancer. If you believe, it's all based on belief, because you're the healer, not the doctor, not the medicine. All those things help to kick in the things in your immune system to heal them, but you're ultimately the healer. So if you believe you can heal, you can. And if it takes bringing somebody to a past life or a future life or an in-between life to get them to heal, and and they believe that, do it with them. So that's why I say you might have different beliefs. Regression. So, well, I've seen a lot of people